6 to 8 servings recommended by Canada's Food Guide. You're also closer to a free Hamilton Beach indoor grill with pin codes from specially marked bags. And that's something your whole family will appreciate. Get 6 to 8 on your plate. Think bread with Dempster's.
We've got the hottest acts in country music.
Now, everyone's raving about Country Strong. You don't have to be a country fan to love this movie.
Can you play a song for me?
Am I going to play a song for you?
Great music and good times.
I enjoy playing music, no matter who it's for.
Don't miss it.
Why don't y'all just sleep together? Get it over with.
Country Strong, now nominated for a Golden Globe.
Tonight on A News at 6.
Chrysler Canada gets the jump on the Detroit Auto Show with a reveal of the new 300 and Charger. Mayor Francis sends out the call to investors and developers. Come to Windsor. If Santa brought you new toys for Christmas, what to do with those castaway electronics?
It's great for the environment. It's great for somebody that can use it.
The 53rd Annual Toronto International Boat Show kicks off tomorrow. Tonight, we'll tell you what you can look forward to and introduce you to some new gadgets that are making a big splash.
This is A News at 6.
Good evening. I'm Jim Crichton. Chrysler Canada is raising the curtain on the 2011 300 and Dodge Charger. Reporters were invited to the Brampton Assembly Plant today where the cars are built. You get to see them before the car show. Joining us is reporter Michelle Molesky.
Jim, the launch of the 2011 version of these full-size cars has been widely anticipated by car buffs. But it begs the question, what if gas prices soar again? Will all this fanfare be for naught? It's a big day at the Brampton Assembly Plant as Chrysler reveals the new look for the Dodge Charger and the Chrysler 300.
We're confident that buyers in Canada as well as elsewhere will embrace the two all-new vehicles that are coming off the line here today.
Both are popular vehicles for the automaker, but neither had received a substantial makeover until now.
Dealers need the confidence to say to the consumer that vehicle that was built in a Brampton Assembly Plant and the Windsor Assembly Plant are the very best vehicles on productivity, quality, and cost.
They've done a great job on fixing up the interiors. It was a fantastic ride, the engine's difference.
Dealerships across the country have seen the changes to the familiar nameplates, and they like what they see. Pollock expects to have both vehicles on the lot within 4 to 6 weeks' time.
When we come out with the Grand Cherokee, that was the first new vehicle of Fiat Chrysler marriage, and it's been a success since it came out, and I think this will just continue it on.
For the sake of the 300, Chrysler would be hoping that gas prices stay at lower levels.
But they have been steadily climbing in recent months, and even though better fuel economy is a big concern for consumers, Feria points out the demand for full-size or large vehicles is still very high in the U.S. and Canada.
Passenger car sales were only up about 2% in 2010, but light truck sales were up by double digits in 2010.
Now, Tony Feria points out the Chrysler 300 is available with a Pentastar V6 engine, which gives consumers an 8% improvement in fuel economy. Both vehicles, the 300 and the Charger, will be formally unveiled Monday at the North American International Auto Show. Jim?
Handsome cars, Michelle. Terrific. Thank you. Well, the city of Windsor is sending out a call to investors and developers. Move here, grow here, and we'll make it worth your while. Mayor Francis has unveiled the preliminary citywide community improvement plan. A News political affairs specialist Christina Howard joins us in the newsroom with details. Christina?
Thank you, Jim. The plan is really more of a toolkit filled with policies and potential that will allow the city and the Development Corporation to best sell the area to investors. The draft plan is aimed at 10 key industries that have been aggressively targeted by the city, including aerospace, green energy, and advanced manufacturing.
This package, once approved by City Council, will be the most competitive and attractive package in the province of Ontario.
The package is this: a citywide community improvement plan that could allow the city to attract thousands of jobs through grants, financial incentives, and decade-long tax breaks.
The amount of investment that anyone wants to put into the city is equal to the grant that will be available to them.
So an employer that wants to expand its operations won't face additional property taxes for 10 years. Instead, the additional property taxes will be returned to investors in the form of a grant.
We're basically saying that we're fixing the revenue that we're bringing in today, and we're allowing existing businesses as well as new businesses the opportunity to make the investments that they need in a tough economic climate.
These tax incentives won't necessarily impact the city's bottom line. Windsor's tax base is already shrinking. Since 2002, industrial taxes are down by $10 million. And there are more than 500 commercial and industrial properties in tax arrears. The idea is for the city to take in just as much as it is today in the hopes of capturing much, much more a decade down the road. But the plan has several other components, some which will come at a cost to city coffers.
The city under the CIP will be allowed to assemble land, will be able to dispose of land.
And develop land, and then sell or lease it to investors at a reduced rate. The real estate component will enable the city to build and refurbish buildings needed to secure big investments and big jobs. Components of the plan have already helped the city lure and retain jobs from Silicon and NEMAC. And Francis says it will help seal several pending announcements. The plan is still fluid in that it could change based on several factors, including public input. The public is invited to check out the plan on the city's website and to attend an open house on January 18th from 2 to 4 and then again from 6 to 8 p.m. at 400 City Hall Square East. City Council votes on the plan at the end of the month. Jim?
Thank you, Christina. With electronic gear being some of the most popular gifts people give at Christmas, there's a good chance you are now enjoying a new gadget or TV. Well, how about the unit it replaces, often tired but still in working order? Christy Bazaire tells us tonight one local organization hopes you'll consider them this weekend when deciding what to do with those castaway electronics.
You went the winner for the year there, I'll tell you.
Bruce Shaw is donating 14 old TVs to the Computers for Kids program. And these aren't exactly models that he's just replaced this Christmas.
This one here was out of my great uncle's TV repair shop.
What year?
In the late 70s.
The e-waste collectors have received huge drop-offs like this before, and they're hoping for more. E-waste makes up 2/3 of the program's funding as they earn 9 cents a pound through the Ontario Electronic Stewardship Program.
To date, we've had over 700 children receive computers, and over 1,000 kids directly benefited through after-school programs.
The program is part of the Pathway to Potential Poverty Reduction strategy. Volunteers are hoping to help twice as many children next year.
It's really making a big difference, giving them a chance for a future and helping them break that cycle of poverty.
40 volunteers are braving the cold conditions to help unload the goods. Computers that are still usable will be donated, while e-waste like old TVs, phones, and stereos will be recycled for cash.
It's great for the environment. It's great for somebody that can use it.
The collectors are confident many people have old stuff that needs to be tossed.
I was just saving them up. That's all I was doing.
Saving them up for what?
I was just waiting for the one day where I could just get rid of them instead of somewhere than the actual garbage dump.
Computers for Kids has 2 of these giant bins that they're hoping to fill by the end of the collection. If you have old electronics that you can part with, bring them by 1855 Turner Road on Saturday between 7 and 3. Christy Bazaire, A News.
Christy suggests if you would like more information about getting a computer or volunteering, you are invited to call 519-253-KIDS or visit cfkcanada.org. Also, if you can't make it to the collection drop this weekend, drop-offs can be made at 4150 Sandwich Street Monday through Saturday. Well, the weekend is here, and so is the snow, evidently. As Arms joins us live, you got our first look at weather, my friend.
Well, good evening to you, my friend, and what a dicey drive here to our on-site location to wrap up Resolution Week on A Weather. We had some slippery roads and quite a bit of snowfall in the last hour. That's tapered off to some light flurries right now, and another cold night is in store for us. We're going to see that snow continue this evening with cloudy skies. We're currently sitting at a sub-zero temperature right now. We saw some flurries, light snow on and off today. Winds will continue out of the northwest at 15 kilometers an hour. Now, we've got bands of snow just to the north of Windsor. Those are going to creep in this evening as we've got a strong upper-level low over the Great Lakes, plus support by a low-pressure system over the Ohio Valley region. We could even see some heavier bands of snow this evening in Windsor. Quite a bit of precip over the Great Lakes, too. And we're expecting just under 1 centimeter of snow falling overnight locally. People traveling out of Windsor headed east into Sarnia or Lambton will run into heavier bands of snow, so be cautious if you're headed out of town this weekend. Tonight, the clouds will continue this evening, along with some light snowfall projected. We'll have northwest winds gusting at 15 kilometers an hour and temperatures holding steady at -8. Sarnia is going to see -9. Leamington and Chatham will hit the -10 mark with the risk of flurries for all 3 municipalities. Now, another drop in temperature in the overnight hours to -8, 18 Fahrenheit. Light snow will continue into the overnight hours. Tomorrow morning, no different in temperatures. -8, 18 Fahrenheit will be the high, with a few stray flurries and a very cold day in store and cloudy skies in the afternoon. We're going to hit a high of -3, 27 Fahrenheit. So the snow continues to fall out here this evening, Jim, and we're going to see some calm conditions come Sunday, so we'll take a look at that in your 7-day planner. And again, we're going to wrap up Resolution Week here on A Weather with a look at stopping smoking at the Lifetime Wellness Center. Jim?
Yeah, viewers heading out this evening will want to take it easy, won't they, Arms? Thank you, sir. We'll catch up with you shortly. We lost Arms there. He calls himself the Face Decoder. Just by looking at your facial features, he says he can figure out what kind of person you are, how you think, even determine important health issues. Sasha Long brings us the introduction tonight.
Traditionally, people have flocked to fortune tellers and palm readers to get some insight into details of their lives. But now a new trend is emerging: face reading.
Right from your forehead to your ears to your nose, your structure, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle when you put together.
Face reading has been around for thousands of years. Also known as physiognomy, it is the art of reading facial features of a person to develop an understanding of their personality.
A lot of your friends share a lot of secrets with you. And one of the things with them is that they trust you.
We're always looking for that little bit of edge of who are we, where did we come from, and what is our purpose on life. You know, and having him do that is just another answer for me to get more in tune to who I am.
Vish Malhotra has been reading faces for 15 years, but just last year he went public. Already he's read more than 500 faces.
So I can tell about you who you are, although you may claim that you know yourself. Some hidden features about you, who you are, your past, your future.
According to Vish, the shape, size, and location of your features all have meaning. Those traits then tell the story of who you are. I sat down to give it a try.
There was something very special happened in '95, kind of a little turning point in your life, you know, and I didn't want to get into that turning point, what it was, but that was a very, very special moment for you.
Looking back, that was the year I met my husband.
Let's put it this way, it just talks to me, it's God's gift.
But according to Julie Cox, who teaches online courses on the art, face reading is something that can be learned.
If you can memorize a definition, you can learn to read faces.
And all over the internet, there are sites geared to helping people discover the secrets of this art. Even some big U.S. companies are learning to read faces for clues of character. General Electric, American Airlines, even the FBI have looked into how this works. Sasha Long, A News.
Fascinating. Well, another sign of the growing popularity of face reading. For a first time ever, Windsor's Psychic Expo will be bringing in 2 experts in the field. That event happens in about 2 weeks' time. We plan on being there. Well, ahead in sports with Norman James. Spitfires trade goaltender Troy Passingham, and what could be the start of more deals to come.
Coming up on Health and Home, how football players are seeing the light when it comes to concussions.
Janet ahead at 6, the announcement of a royal wedding leads to the resurgence of interest in royal merchandise.
Hi, I'm Gary Zavros. Zavros Insulation, your energy efficiency contractor.
You know Zavros as the insulation specialist. With HydroSave, we continue to help you cut costs and save energy. Save 10 to 25% on your monthly hydro bills. The HydroSave 2000 unit provides surge protection and enhances all your electrical devices. No more computer freeze-ups, no more hot adapters. Only pay for the hydro you actually use. Contact Zavros Insulation and lower your energy bills today.
Adam.
Emma, she's hot. She's my oldest friend.
We should use each other for sex.
Yeah, I could do that.
We do this until one of us feels something more.
It won't be me.
It won't be me.
Don't mess this up.
Tequila. Wow.
It's for you.
Having sex with you?
You did a good job, so Thought you deserved a balloon.
No strings attached.
You shouldn't have gotten her a balloon. Who do you think you are, the old guy from Up?
January 21st.
There are recyclables hiding in your very own home, and we need your help to find them. They're hiding in your bathroom. They're hiding in your kitchen. They're hiding in your garage. They're hiding in your home office. And they're hiding in your laundry room. You may not realize that you can recycle so many of the products that you use every day, or that they're hidden all over your home. Most of the brands that you